let me ask you a question. What is your thoughts on kids and cell phones? So for those of you who don't know, my name is Heather Bell. I'm a mom to 8 children. My kids are grown now. The youngest is 18, the oldest is 25. And so what are your thoughts on younger children having cell phones? Or what's your thoughts on what age do you think is like the good age or the appropriate age for kids to get cell phones? So I want to share with you what me and my husband's rules were when it came to cell phones with our children. Like I said, I have 8 children. And so my husband and I, we adopted 7 of our 8 children because I had dealt with infertility. It took us 8 years to have my son Gideon. So in that process, we became foster parents. We adopted our oldest son David through private adoption. Then we adopted 6 more children through foster care. Well, with a big family, we had to set some different rules when it came to cell phones and just how our family dynamics work, because with a lot of people, things can get crazy. Sometimes it's hard to manage all the kids at once. And so we had to be very careful with a lot of different things, just with chores, with school. We homeschooled our kids when they were younger, with cell phones, like just different things we had to do just to make our family work better. And so I'm just curious, like, what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments, like, do your children have cell phones? How old were they when they got a cell phone? Have you found that by giving younger kids cell phones when they're younger, is it causing issues? Like, what are you seeing? I just want to hear your thoughts on it. Well, I have to tell you, I came across this video of this guy who created a cell phone for younger children, but it's different. It mimics the old-fashioned cord phones. You know, when I was little, or younger, even in high school, we had 2 phones. One was in my parents' bedroom and one was in the kitchen. Well, it hooked up onto the wall and it had a cord, the longest cord ever. So it was like you dial it, 3, and if you messed up, you had to hang it up and start over again. 9, 6, and so if you had to do a 0, it like was all the way around and you had to wait. Some of you are thinking, yeah, I get it. And some of you are thinking, what are you talking about? So it hung on the wall. And so whenever we want to talk to our friends, we had to like stretch the cord into another room and you'd shut the door. You'd be in a closet talking for privacy because it was just connected to the wall. There's nothing you can do about it. At the time, they didn't have those phones that you could, pick up and walk around. Those came, I think, later. I don't know, maybe I was in college. And so he has mimicked that, but yet it's a cell phone, but it's also a cordless phone. And I believe you can't text, you can't check the internet. It's basically for a younger child to have a phone so they can talk to their friends or talk to their grandparents, and they can have privacy because they can walk into their room. And I feel like it's a genius idea. So before I share with you what our rules were on cell phones, I thought that I would pull this video up and you can watch it with me and then tell me what you think. Like, what's your thoughts on it? Is it a cool idea? Is it like, yeah, that will never work? Like, what's your thoughts on it? So let's watch this video of this guy who invented this cellular, old-fashioned mocking phone. So like I said, I saw this come up on my Instagram. I thought it was a genius idea, so we're gonna watch it together. So it says, meet the dad reviving landlines to keep their kids off smartphones. When Chris Kettleson's kids asked for a phone, he faced the dilemma every parent knows. How do I give my children independence without giving them a cell phone? Or a smartphone? The risk from the screen addiction to safety concerns felt overwhelming. Inspired by the simplicity of childhood landlines, he built Tincan, a Seattle-based startup. Tincan is a screen-free landline designed just for kids with no apps, no internets, and no strangers. I think it looks pretty cool. With features like parent-approved contacts, quiet hours, and a $9.99 plan, think of it as the modern spin-off, I'm gonna turn that down a bit, on the classic home phone where kids could spin the cord, chat with their crew, and feel independent without being online. For Chet, Tincan isn't about fighting technology, it's about balance, proving that sometimes the best way forward is to bring a little of the past back. So I'm just curious, what are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on him creating this cell phone that keeps kids safe, they can still have their independence, but yet they're not going to be online where their safety could be at risk? Because, I mean, if you think about it, there's so much information coming through cell phones. like bad and good, right? There's good things happening on cell phones, but then there's also bad things happening on cell phones. And what age are the kids mature enough to make the right decisions or handle it? I mean, and I understand, like, even there's adults that struggle with cell phones. They still don't do things right, but you can definitely, it's like you have the world at your hands, right? Like you can access anything, you can ask questions, you can see things that you don't want to see. And I know as parents, when their kids are younger, we definitely have to have some parent controls to protect them, because sometimes, I know for me, you swipe into something not knowing and you're like, oh my goodness, and it's just something, once you see it, you can't unsee it. But I do feel like there's a point where when our kids are older, we have to trust them. Whether they're doing right or wrong, we have to trust them. And I know, I want to go through what our rules were with our children, because we had so many kids. We wanted to make sure that we were doing things right. We want to keep our kids safe, but yet give them that independence. And I just have to pray that they are making the right decisions. And are they going to be perfect? No, kids aren't perfect. They are going to make mistakes, just like we made mistakes when we were younger. And so this cell phone is just like a whole new thing, because when my kids were younger, we didn't really have cell phones. Like, I didn't get my first smartphone until like 99. Like, I remember my husband coming home with an iPhone 3 and he's like, you've got to see this. And I'm like, what? He's like, oh my goodness, look at this. This is so cool. You got to get one. Because I bought one, you can get one for free. And I'm like, no, I like my Nokia flip phone. You can call me, because I didn't really know what texting was new. All this was new. iPhone 3, can you believe that? That actually wasn't too long ago. And so I just was like, no, I don't need that. I wasn't on Facebook. I wasn't on social media. I remember my friend's daughter actually hooked me up on Facebook, because she's like, are you on Facebook? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And so she got my Facebook up and she showed me how to use it, because I had a family and I was so involved in raising the family. And I got to be honest with you, I can't imagine having to raise a family now with all the social media and the effect it has on our children and the influence it has on our children. I can't imagine. I mean, it's hard enough being a parent, but then to have to parent, and then with all the social media stuff going on and just the garbage and it's just so influential. I mean, I know I'm older and there's some times where I'll just sit here and do this. And I'm like, whoa, you got things to do. You can't be spending time on your phone, but it can be very addictive. It's very influential, but that yet you can also get information on it. I've saw really cool, I've saw really cool cooking videos where I've gotten some ideas. I've been able to connect with people. Like, there's been different things that are also good too. So not all social media is bad. I don't honestly see a lot of the bad stuff. I see more of the good stuff, but I'm sure my kids see bad stuff. And so that's my question is like, oh my goodness, let me turn this down here. My daughter's calling me and I have Felice Navidad on my phone. So this is just like my opinion. I'm not like down on anybody. I'm not saying anything is right or wrong. This is just my opinion, my feelings. As a mom who's now has older children, they had cell phones later. Like, I didn't really have to deal with it like a lot of people are doing, and it is hard. It is hard to not want to get your kids the social media stuff, the smartphones, the Xbox ones. It's really hard because you don't want your kids to be made fun of. You want them to feel like they're like everybody else. Like, it isn't easy. It's a hard decision. So I just want to know, tell me, like, what did your family do? What did you guys do as parents? Or what did your parents do? Like, did it help you? Did it not help you? Like, and what's your thoughts on what this guy's invented? I actually think it's super cool because it also gives these kids like an independence to talk, but yet they're not, these younger kids aren't, seeing all this other stuff that might be too mature for them or too advanced for them. I want to share with you what rules we had in our home. Phones are like $1,200. 1,200 times 8? That is like almost $10,000 for phones. We couldn't afford that. And so the rule was, what we got was we got each of them like a talk and text phone, a flip phone. So they got that. And then once they got a job and they could pay for their own phone, they could go and buy a phone, and then it was their phone. And so we made our kids get their own phone once they did the things they needed to do, right? Get a job, pay for that. And we would help too. So, I mean, we have a business like a business account. So our kids got good deals, but they had to take care of that. And maybe if they couldn't take care of that, then maybe they would like, hey dad, can I cut wood for, Saturdays to pay this off? And so we would work with them, but we would make sure that they were mature enough. Ages were like between 16 and 18. They did have a phone they could communicate with us, just like to talk and text, but they didn't have access to the internet. It wasn't a smartphone. It was like one of those, I don't know what you call them, like a talk and text Nokia. And so once they got between 16 and 18, then they got a job, buy a phone, that's fine. And then we did have rules that when they were younger, that we wanted their phones to stay down in the kitchen when they went to bed, because we wanted them to go to bed and sleep and rest and relax, not to have to worry about the cares of the world, not to be all up all night looking at, reels. And so we asked if they could just leave the phones down here, just at bed, so they could just rest, because your mind needs to rest. You got to rest at night. It should be quiet and dark so you can get reared up. So they come in, they'd get their phone in the morning, they'd have it all day, and then at night they'd put them to, and it wasn't a big deal. Like the kids, it wasn't a big deal, because we trusted our kids. And so that's what the rule was. But with our younger ones, like Izzy and Noah, just because they had helped us, and like Izzy helped on the farm, Noah helped on the farm, he worked with dad. So for Noah and Izzy, we actually got them for Christmas. So Noah, we surprised Noah. I think it was just like 2 years ago, so he'd be 16. We surprised him with a phone. And of course he had to keep it down, and then Izzy, we also did the same for Izzy. So I think she got hers for her birthday, or she got it for Christmas. So we did surprise both of them, just because everybody had cell phones, but they followed the rules. And there were certain apps that we didn't want the kids to have till they were older. And once they got older and they were adults, they could choose which apps go on their phone. But we really wanted to just protect them. We wanted to just keep them safe. We didn't want them to see things they shouldn't. And we had to make sure that everything was like organized, and that we were doing right. And still, even today, even though Noah doesn't have to, he still keeps his phone down here at night. He plugs it in and he goes to bed, because he says, Mom, I don't want to be sidetracked when I go to bed, because he works with our masonry. He says, I don't want to wake up tired because I've been on my phone all night. So he literally plugs it in down there and he keeps it there. I don't even tell him he has to. He just does it because he says, I just want to rest at night and I don't want the temptation to look at it, And so that's just what we did as our family, because I understand this like need to have this social media, the smartphones, because everybody has them. And, a couple of my kids, they got made fun of because they didn't have a smartphone when they were younger. And I said, it's okay. When you get your job and you earn it, you'll have a phone. It's not going to hurt you. My kids are doing fine. Like, they're doing fine. They are appropriate on their phones. They're doing what's right, And I mean, even my other kids, I don't even think they sleep with the phone next to them. I think they kind of like move it out of the way. And I even started doing that. I started just like putting my phone in another room, because I'd seen this video where if like your phone's by you at night, it kind of disrupts your sleep. And I have to tell you, I don't know if this is true or not, but it's been 3 weeks that I have been putting my phone in another room, and I have been sleeping like a baby. Like, I don't even hear my husband's alarm go off in the morning. I'm waking up refreshed, because supposedly it being by you with like the electrical currents and I don't know, but I just have peace. And when I get up in the morning, I stopped grabbing my phone right away. And I'm thinking, okay, Heather, you got to stop your day. Don't start your day by looking at your phone. Start your day by getting coffee, talking to your family, reading your Bible, praying for your family, praying for your kids, maybe getting a little laundry going, And so I started to, I changed that too. I don't wake up and the first thing I do is grab my phone. I've been trying so hard to accomplish goals every day. So like yesterday was weeding my garden, taking care of my laundry, and then I think I made something. So after that is when I worked on my social media, or I checked out things, or I posted things. So so if you've noticed that you're not seeing videos till later, it's because I'm trying to live life too. I don't want to be on my phone every 2 seconds. Plus it hurts your neck. I literally have to go to the chiropractor when I'm on my phone too much, because it literally hurts your neck. And I just feel like health-wise so good. I feel so much better. And I'm not noticing that my kids, they don't feel like they missed out on anything. They still got the phone, but it was when they were old enough to handle what comes with the phone, the responsibility of paying for it, the responsibility of, are you watching things that you should or you shouldn't? But I never really felt the need to pry into my kids' phones. I never felt the need to open them up, because it's theirs. They bought it, they earned it, they pay on it. And so I've really, since I've gotten older, I've learned a lot of stuff. I've really been trying to chill. Am I perfect? I am so far from perfect. Am I a perfect mom? I'm not a perfect mom. But I'm trying really hard to make changes and to try and not react like Heather, but react like God wants me to react. And so I've just, I know you guys have heard this over and over. I've just been praying about so much stuff, really trying to change who I am, just to relax, to really love my family and to not be so critical and judgy. I've been really, it's not easy. It's not easy being cheesy. It's not easy trying to allow the Lord to change me. But so yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts? Like, what are your thoughts on phones? What have you seen with your kids? Did you give your kids phones too early and you're seeing the consequences of that? If your kids got them later and earned them, are you seeing a difference in that? You know, I mean, literally, I'll just tell you, I have a lot of my children that have shut down so much social media. They've shut down their Instagram. None of my children are on TikTok. They just don't like the platform. They just think it's too much. And they're not into it. So they don't watch TikTok. A lot of them shut down Instagram. They watch YouTube videos. They all like Facebook because of the marketplace. They buy so much stuff on Marketplace. They get good deals on refrigerators and washer and dryers, and they find boats, and it's just hilarious. And I didn't make them do that. They just see that there's a life outside of social media. Yeah, they're on their phones checking out things, but yet they also are living. They work all day. They shut their phones off. They make sure that at night they're with their families and they shut their phones down. And so I'm really proud of them for making that decision, because it's not easy. Even as an adult, it's not easy putting your phone down. It's so hard. And so I just been making sure for me that I've been balancing social media and my real life, because social media isn't real life. Yeah, you get to watch us and you get to watch commentators and see how people live and their culture, which is really super cool. If you can't travel the country, you can see it on your phone, which is really neat. But you also have to balance your life. Like, if you're not able to get your laundry done because you're on social media, if you're not able to do things with your children because you're on social media, or cooking's not getting done, there's got to be a balance. And I really do feel like you should be living more in the world and less on your phone. And don't get me wrong, I like I've said twice, I find really great recipes. I watch cooking videos. I watch commentators. I watch Bible studies. I seek out different things that I have questions for, just trying to learn stuff, because it really is convenient, right? But it's almost too convenient. We've stopped reading books. We've stopped looking into the dictionary. We've stopped looking at cookbooks because we can just go online. There's a lot of things that I grew up with that, like, record players are done, cassette CDs. You don't even need DVDs anymore. A lot of people don't go to the movies anymore because you can just watch it on here. And so I think there's a lot of things that we used to do living that we really don't do anymore because we have access right at our fingertips. So I've been making it a purpose to get up, start my life with Jesus, message all my kids, tell them I love them, pray for them, and then set my goals, and then come on to my social media, share things with you guys, post things, post thoughts, share cooking. And sometimes I go live. If there's nothing going on, I'll go live, which I'd love to go more with you. But that's what I've done in my own life. And I have to tell you, I feel better, because I notice when I'm on social media more, I'm very agitated to my family, agitated with life. I'm irritated because things aren't getting done in my home, and I'm just all around not happy. And that's just me. I'm not saying everybody's like that, but I'm just responsible for me. And that's what I notice. And I also notice with my children, when they're on their phones too much, they're also irritated. But when they're out and about, hanging out with friends, going places, playing basketball outside, not spending as much time on their phones, they feel more at peace. They seem more calm and more just collected. And I don't know, I just love it, because our kids still come over at night, even though several of them are moved away. They all come over and we sit in the living room and we just visit. Our phones are down and we just talk. We just talk. And I noticed even going out to eat. You go out to eat and you look at a family and they're like this. They're not even talking to each other. And they're eating like this. Or a baby has an iPad. Nobody's talking. Why would you go out to eat if you're not going to talk? I mean, they're not even looking at each other. And so we also make it a point when we go out to eat that our phones get put away so we can actually visit. And I know it's hard. It's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying we're perfect. But this is just some of the things that we have done as a family and that I have done myself, because I did find myself always on here checking likes, checking followers, checking this, checking this. And it really makes me irritated, because when things don't go your way on social media, you can't do nothing about it, right? If TikTok don't like you, you can't do nothing about it. What are you going to do? Are you going to put TikTok in their place? Well, no, you're not. And so I just feel more at peace. I feel like I'm being more active. I'm doing things I used to do. Like I'm gardening and I'm sewing and I'm crafting and I'm baking more. And I actually didn't do that for years, because I was so obsessed with getting on here and being on here that I stopped doing the things I love to do. And so I'm painting again. I'm doing so many things. So anyway, that's just my thoughts on social media, thoughts on cell phones. And like I said 300 times, let me know in the comments. What's your thoughts on everything? Are you also making the same decisions? Are you trying to change and be less on? Are you trying to use it more as a positive tool instead of, you can get down a rabbit trail. You see one thing and you can get down a rabbit trail and like an hour later, you're like, oh my gosh, I even told Haley that the other day. I got down this rabbit trail on something, don't remember what it was. And I looked up, I was like, oh my goodness, I have been hitting different videos for an hour. It was horrible. And I'm like, I'm shutting this phone. So I shut the phone down like the rest of the day. And then like at 7 o'clock, I picked it up and hurried up and got stuff on my social media. Yeah, I don't know. I think technology is going super fast and we're not able to keep up. And AI, that's another thing, but we're going to talk about that in another video. All right, well, thank you so much for spending time with me and just listening to my thoughts on social media and on smartphones. And let me know what you think of this this guy who was burdened by it too and is inventing this. I think it's super cool. It's just my opinion, but everybody has opinions, right? Just because we're all different with opinions doesn't mean we don't have to still care about each other and get along. Just because you have different opinions doesn't mean we got to hate each other. We can still love each other and support each other. I have friends that don't believe like me or don't think like me, and I love them so much, and we still go to lunch and we still hang out with each other because our friendship's deeper than that, Okay, well, thanks so much. Make sure to subscribe and like to our family page. And holidays are coming. We got lots of things planned. Haley's like, Mom, let's do this, this, and this. So you guys are going to be you're going to be like, enough, Heather. I can't take any more holiday stuff. Be patient. All right, well, thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend.